Hello, my name is Sarah Willoughby. I'm the author of the book He's Making Diamonds, A Teen's Thoughts on Faith Through Chronic Illness, and the host of the Diamonds Conference, a free online conference for chronically ill Christians. So chronic illness is hard. Health challenges are hard. Writing is hard. Put them together and they can feel impossible, but I'm living proof that they're not. They really aren't. In my last video, we talked about how life affects writing and how it's really hard because they're connected. They don't fit in little boxes. It doesn't work like that. It's all meshed together in this mess that we call life because we're a whole person. Our work, especially when it's a creative job, when it's a self-employed job, or something like that, and our life is just, it mixes together. And I love the flexibility that writing gives me, that gives me as a person, as a job, but it also means that I have to be really careful and really guarded. And I was talking with a friend about this week, and we were talking about, like, when you're self-employed, you have to have this discipline to be motivated to create your own deadlines, to meet your own deadlines, to keep pushing, to keep trying, and you don't have someone sitting there telling you what to do. And so that takes a ton of energy, mental energy, but that also takes a lot of self-discipline. There's another side to that, though. When you are self-employed, when you do something creative like writing, you also have to, even if you're not self-employed, writing is still something that you think about all day, that it could keep you up at night if you're not careful. And so what I was trying to say is lost. So you also have to have discipline to rest, because when it's not a clock in at the office and clock out or at whatever, there's no one telling you, okay, you're done for the day. And so when you're driven to just keep going, sometimes you just keep going and you never give yourself a break and you never take the time to care for yourself. So as a follow-up to our last video, I really want to talk about self-care for writers. Because it's so important, but I think that often we get so excited by what we're doing, or so invested in it, or so pressured by readers, by people who are trying to cheer us on, but we might be taking it a little too far, that we don't take care of ourselves, and that's crucial. So crucial, especially for a writer who's writing stuff for others. You're creating content for other people. So it's important. It's so important. And I say that having neglected it, having faced the burnout that you get from it. Not fun. So first, rest. I know it's hard, and it's hard to let go of your project sometimes, and it's just constantly in the back of your head, and you're trying to figure out, like, there's scientifically, humans want to finish stories. We want to know what happens. And there's just like deep ingrained desire to finish things. But when you're a writer, you're writing something that's not finished most of the time. And so there's pieces to fit together, and plot pieces, or if you're a nonfiction writer, there's, how do you organize something that could go in so many different directions, and it's like a puzzle, and it's just this puzzle that's constantly there that you have to, like, think through. And you don't have to think through all the time, but we do. At least I do. It's really hard to let it go. I asked my friend, I'm like, what are you thinking about? She's like, the bushes are green. And I'm like, I just went through, like, I don't know. As a writer, I'm constantly thinking, like, super deeply about the world. And that's a good thing that I'm thankful for, but it's also like, I don't know. First of all, my non-writer friends don't often get it. They do. They're not saying anything bad, but, like, it's just hard, and it's weird, and it's constantly there, which is constantly draining energy, and you don't get a break. So we want to be really, really intentional about resting, whatever that looks like. And that could be sleeping. It's probably not scrolling endlessly through Instagram, because that does drain mental energy. Sometimes you need some numbness, and that's okay, but hours of that every night, how rested are you getting from that? It could be reading. It could be going for a walk and just stepping away from everyone, stepping away from your story, stepping away from your project, and or exercising, or even just sitting outside and observing. Or maybe you're an extrovert like me and it's calling up some friends and having a game night and laughing hysterically, whatever it is for you. And I think that for a lot of us, it's a combination of all of those things and more. Rest. One thing that I like to do is people watch. To me, especially if I don't know the people, so I don't feel like I have to take on their issues, people watching is really, really fun for me and really like motivating and inspiring. And so you also want to guard your time. So guard your writing time and guard your rest time. As when you're controlling your own schedule, people will ask you to change it. There's always going to be a million things that have to be done. There's always going to be everyone asking for your time. It's not going to be like, maybe in a few weeks it'll slow down, maybe in a few months it'll slow down, maybe in a few years it'll slow down. It will not slow down. It doesn't. That's just not how it works. And if it slows down, there's going to be other things that take that place. So guard it. Guard your writing time so that it's dedicated to your writing time. And that might mean you have to tell your family, or you might have to tell your friends, like, this particular time is I'm working. I'm working, just like when you go to your work. I'm working. I can't go walk the dog right now. I can't go do this or that. I can't go spontaneously do whatever. And that'll look differently for each of us. It doesn't mean that you have to have a certain block each day that you use, but whatever you do have for writing time, guard it. Because if it's constantly interrupted, constantly a distraction, then you're not going to be able to accomplish what you need to do, which means that cuts into your rest time, that cuts into your self-care. Part of caring for yourself is using that work time well, whatever that looks like for you. So also you want to guard your rest. And that's also people, you're going to be like, oh, I can just push, someone's asking for this, someone needs that, or I need to finish this project. There's always something. You have to prioritize rest. No one's going to do that for you. It's just how it is. So you have to say, this is my bedtime, or this, I know it looks like I'm just going to go, I'm having fun all the time, but going and playing games with friends is crucial for me. That's guarding my rest. For me personally, that's I'm an extrovert, so that it really helps me. So I do make plans almost every evening to go spend time with people, because that gives me a time that I have to be done working by. And it gives me also the accountability to rest. Being around those people means I'm not on my phone, means I'm not working, means I'm focused on that instead of doing things that are draining or continuing to work. And so that gives me the accountability. And for introverts, I don't know, or for extroverts who need solitude as well, like maybe there's other things you can do to give yourself that accountability and that, create that space where it's hard for you to be interrupted, hard for you to be distracted. A friend of mine, she's like, she has a time where she's done with her phone. No electronics after this time, and that forces her to rest. Or one of my mentors, he and his wife, unscrewed all the light bulbs in their house so that when it got dark, they couldn't really do a lot. So they went to bed at a decent time because there was no light. I don't know what you need to do, but something like that. And so also take care, not just of your, you're taking care of your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your relational health is all crucial as a writer. In being able to write, because all of that is going to affect your ability to be creative, your ability to engage with the reader, engage with characters, and get, create something, because that takes energy. So take care of those health things. I don't know what you need to do today to do that, but right now I'm sure at least 2 things came to mind. You're like, oh yeah, do it, okay? Do it, and then comment down below that you did it or what it is that you did. Like this video, subscribe so you don't miss future videos. See you guys soon.